Alright, we survived the first day of rehearsals of the Eurovision Song Contest 2023. Let me summarize my thoughts of the 10 acts performing for the first time today, as well as my best first impression. Let's talk Eurovision. Sup y'all, Matt ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. It was a long day of live streaming and working, but we're not done yet. As you know, the first 10 countries of semifinal 1 actually rehearsed today. I'm going to go for them real quick and share my thoughts. The only exception, in case you are wondering, Israel would have been in this running order, but they're not here yet. Therefore, I think they moved Sweden up. So it starts with Norway and ends with Sweden, our review. And then at the end, I'll share with you the best first impressions. And as always, please like this video real quick before we get started, and I would love to hear your thoughts at the bottom as well. The more you comment, the longer I stay alive here. Let's jump right into it. So first up was Norway, and let me just summarize it. I like it. I just like what they're doing. If you go into this hoping for something more than the national final, you may be a little disappointed, but her outfit is different. It's actually from what we see in MGP. Now, I love her green touch to it. It has a little bit more of a majestic feel to it, and she looks more like a queen, actually, so I'm digging that. She almost just needs a scepter or something, but instead, she has a crown that she's wearing as well, and so it's mostly her appearance that changes a little, but I think it's highly appropriate for a queen to wear, and she has her 4 backup dancers. They bring glow sticks because glow sticks make everything a whole lot better. And again, nothing different from what we saw before. Keep in mind that most people will see this for the very first time, so they may not be bored with the staging that we have seen before. I think the pictures initially look a little dark, just like the national final performance. It is less dark though, so that's already an improvement. I feel almost actually should bring it up even a little more, but maybe they will offset that with their camera work. So once again, that is a different story. There are several other darker staging coming right after this, or shortly after. I just don't want them to cancel each other out either. But the song is strong enough on its own. Now, she has confidence, and I'm sure we'll get to see the whole camera work on display. It's going to look even better. But I'm impressive. I am impressive, but I'm also impressed. I feel good about it. Then Malta. Malta was next, and I can honestly say that this was one of the biggest surprises of the night for me. Now, I loved it so much. I'm obsessed. I need to watch this whole thing. I cannot wait. EBU. Now, Malta is surrounded by a lot of darker stagings, first of all, so that'll work in its favor as well. So it'll be just really like a ray of sunshine and light when this comes on. And the setup is like a 3-act thing. Like they have the colored boards on the side where they're probably going to do stuff. They have this little thing where they sit in the car driving together and having fun, and then I think they end up like in a living room, and it's very inspired also by the national final, just much more elaborate and cool. So I'm just really into that, so don't count on Malta, y'all. Some people are sleeping on this. I've been saying it and I'll stand by it. So happy and proud of these 3 guys. The backup drop is fantastic. I mean, it's going to be visually just eye-catching, and the guys are already bringing the energy. I'm here for it. So this tiny nation continues to just take this contest so seriously, and I love it. I love it. And can you make a case it may be on the cheesy side? Yeah, that is fair, but it's, I think, intentionally, it's intended, and it's part of the plan, and it works for me. And I'll keep saying it, this is my true epic sax guy. Serbia's national final performance just adjusted to the big stage with some little tweaks here and there. That's what I would call it. I love the changes that they have made though, and even though they are not like earth-shattering, they're effective and good from what I'm seeing. It's striking visually, like the gas masks that the dancers are wearing, and then the smoke effect that comes in. It's just a lot to take in, but I'm absolutely here for it. It creates a mood. It's a bit industrial, almost apocalyptic, something to that extent. It's a vibe though, and that's important. It's a unique vibe in the running. Maybe you can make a case this could be too daunting visually for some, and even vocally, but nobody will forget about Serbia. Luke Black seems confident, and If you felt a little nervous about Serbia because the national final staging, some people were a little nervous that it's not enough, you're good. You're good. I think you'll be very happy. This will be, it's on a new level. And the way he just chills in that little like flower thing in the center, it's just really, really cool. The backdrop also looks amazing. Similar to what we saw in the national final. Again, the colors are on the dark side, but the song is dark, so it wouldn't make sense to go any other way. Just so happy with what Serbia is doing. Good job. Good improvement. Now, Latvia, I feel really bad for the guys. The airline lost their luggage, so their outfits that they're wearing, that's not theirs. They're going to change it for the next rehearsal. So keep that in mind. In the end, it doesn't matter, though. I don't think the outfits are that important for them. The staging just looks just like, again, I sound like a broken record, very, very much inspired and close to what you see in the national final, Supernova. So it's not reinventing the wheels. They bring in the golden lights, lamps that they have, but I think they also put them a little bit on the back, the LED screen as well, and just to make it even more full. And I think that's a good effect. Once again, it's on the darker side. The staging, from what we can see, has a lot of golden in it as well. Again, that's at least what it comes across as when you watch it from the audience kind of thing. But it has almost a classy feel to it, but it's golden. Golden always gives a performance a little bit more of class. There are golden lights and veins that kind of spread out, effects on the backdrop at some point. I'm digging that as well. I don't think we saw it. What we saw doesn't really give us a fair idea of what it will look like overall. Gotta wait for the next rehearsals, which I cannot wait for. I'm curious if we're gonna get more ideas on what this floor looks like. You know, the LED floor, that is going to be a very important part as well. So, but they take advantage of the back wall. First, they start off with the lights, and then they flip it over to the backdrop. So it's really well done. Latvia also has an idea, and that one will be, I'm waiting for the rest. Portugal. All right, let me talk. Some poor bird certainly had to die today for Mimikat's dress. It's wrong that I don't really care because I'm living for that outfit. It's a beautiful red feathered dress. I'm quite fond of it, not going to lie. The cabaret inspired song is also kind of what I said about Latvia, a little hard to judge, and here's why. We need to wait for the camera shots, but seeing it just from the audience, it seemed like maybe you could make a case it's static, but we didn't see the whole thing either. I cannot wait to see more. The couch is gone from the national final, and while I initially I was a little disappointed, I can see where this could actually work in their favor and really just focus on them and their energy and moving around. If the camera work is done right, this could actually work out. Now, it's actually quite simple staging now. No, just Mimikat and the 4 dancers. She did say in her interview at the end that there is some work that needs to be done. I'm curious what she was referring to, so she wasn't upset, but she certainly said there is room for improvement. Needless to say, though, that her voice was already great. She's a fantastic singer. I love that part. So out of the songs performed so far, this is the hardest to judge, even harder than Latvia. I'm waiting to see, because we have to accept the fact that Portugal actually scaled down from the national final, right? No couch, and it seems to be more like in place. But again, the camera will do a lot of the work. Overall, it's on my radar, but I need to see more. Now, Ireland, once again, on my radar. It seemed like a lot of the the outsiders really putting forward a good effort. Now, Going Golden is an interesting choice for that song. A choice that I can get behind, though. It's a tight golden bodysuit that he wears, which at times almost like it distracts me a little, but kudos to him. There is a golden horseshoe prop, stairs, and then we get plenty of pyros as he's singing. So there's a lot of stuff on stage. So lots of stuff going on, very golden. The theme again here, it's the theme of the song. The camera work will give us more here. I know I said that a lot from what we saw. The energy, we need a bit more. He seems there was some nervous energy I was picking up on. I think that's more also his persona, I guess, but that needs to be a little bit more inviting to us. You can make a case that this could become too busy and distracting, but it's hard to say, right? I will say, though, the outfits, as pointed out, I need to see it actually close up the work, because they all have very fun looks, and I'm digging that. I like unique looks. I'm looking for the energy to see how this is all coming together. It's not a safe choice. It's not safe right now. The question is, will this all come together? Croatia, the visuals are a lot to take in, and this will either be loved or hated. There's very little wiggle room in between. Now, once again, quite close to the national final staging. Very busy LED screens. Imagine the music video effect with that character, crazy makeup, dancing around, and then the heads of the band pops up on screen as well. At some point, they have like these weird spinny crazy eyes on them. I don't know how much all that would be caught on the camera when the camera cut comes in. The backdrop keeps my attention. The question is, it could be, again, too much. This has been already, you know, an interesting first day. I will say in the national final was I was a bit put off by the staging. I'm mostly to do with the singer looking like a flamboyant dictator, I guess. But then they take off their coats, they're wearing underwear, different what they were wearing in the national final. Very busy, but I don't think they brought a tractor, at least I haven't seen it. Although maybe they're just leaving that as a surprise in the end. Overall, so in summary, I might be a bit overwhelmed with the visuals still, but either this is going to go really well with the televoters, or it is going to crash and burn because they don't get it. That's just the kind of song that they're sending forward. I'm hoping for the best, of course, for them. Switzerland, I'm so excited. Honestly, potentially definitely the biggest curveball of the evening. I did not expect an elaborate staging with the choreography. I mean, it's a slow, sad ballad with an anti-war message, and yet here comes Remo Ferro and has 4 backup dancers. He dances quite a bit with them as well. There are some really cool moments, like the staging is beautiful, has like this red rain effect, which I believe are pyros, and they fall down from the ceiling or sky, and then it's just breathtakingly beautiful the way it looks. Now, Switzerland has something in mind here, and it'll come together with the camera work. Again, sounds familiar, right? But hear me out. It is awfully difficult to judge this because at some point you just see the dancers really running fast past him and then just walk off on the side. Clearly, it's meant for the camera to catch it in a different way. I will say that some of the movements seemed a bit wooden. I wouldn't call them awkward, but more on the rehearsed side. But I really love the twist Switzerland is giving us here, and I would applaud them for taking that risk. And on top of it, by the way, his voice, amazing. You don't have to worry about that. Moldova. What staging. I am mighty impressed. I'm telling you, I mean, it's inspired by the national final. Nobody has done that before. With a bigger budget, clearly, and therefore improved outfits. So Pasha has a unique stage presence to him anyways, and of course the flute guy, as we all know, is back with 2 female backup dancers. They have some interesting horns on their heads, and my favorite part, that one I really wanted to point out, is when the 3, meaning Pasha and the 2 dancers, kind of dance or come together, and they basically merge into this one, I don't even know, that creature that looks like a shaman looking thing or whatever it is, but it just looks really cool. And this is going to really, really look fantastic. I've never had any doubts about Moldova qualifying, so that's not even a discussion here, but this is taking it to another level, I think. Very happy with what I saw, very impressed, and the backdrop seems to the big sun at some point, but then they flip it around and do the light effect as well. So Moldova, they just know how to stage stuff at Eurovision. They're so good. And then last but not least, Sweden. I mean, we all know Lorraine, the betting odds favorite. Sweden had the LED screen. We weren't sure if they're going to use it or not. It's smaller. It's more square. I mean, they were all square. And then on top of that, she's standing on a big pedestal, not pedestal, like a big cube, which puts her much higher up. Maybe she had to be close to the ceiling because they cannot bring down the LED as much. I'm not sure what the thinking behind of that was. This is another performance that is hard to judge because, the camera work is missing. And Sweden, as we know, as she's in that LED sandwich, as I call it, that is an effect that doesn't come across when you watch it from the arena as much, but it's clearly very similar to a performance in Melodifestivalen, just adjusted as they had to. They were able to lower the LED screen from the ceiling. That was very important, which is a big surprise to me. This is usually not something that gets approved, so good for them, I guess. Now, we don't know how the smaller screen will affect the visuals, but it might not at all, so maybe I'm overthinking that. Overall, we obviously don't have to worry about Sweden putting it in the end together. They're very determined. They have it all figured out. Lorraine, confident as ever. They had a great compromise here with what they're doing with the staging, and I cannot wait to see the whole staging. Let me give you the... I have 4 countries that really stood out to me a lot today, so I'll give you my top 3, but I will give an honorable mention because I don't want to leave them out. So in 3rd place, I guess, based on first impression, could all change, but what I was quite impressed by is number 3, Switzerland. Again, going a very different route. Sasha Jean-Baptiste, doing staging, hit or miss with me, but this is something that could really, really work. Lots of red as well, but it's just something that is out of the box. And it's similar, you can say, 2021 Switzerland, you didn't expect to have such a very active staging, but still it worked very well. So they're going a similar route here, just of course different. So that I would put number 3. My number 2 will be Moldova. There is something about the staging, it's just mesmerizing. And that is like the old ethno beat, Balkan. It's just so well done. And I cannot wait to see the whole thing. But I was just thoroughly enjoying what I've seen. And Moldova, you did it again. My number 1, not sure if it comes as a surprise or not, but I think is Malta. Malta, one of the biggest surprises of the night for me, as pointed out. It's just, I love that cheerful, fun color. That's all I'm looking for. They just cater to my taste though, so maybe I'm a little biased about that. So it's exactly what I was hoping for. I'm so happy for the busker. I'm so happy for Malta. I know people are saying Malta has an uphill battle in qualification. Once again, don't count them out. This was a fantastic performance in between all these darker performances. I think this will stand out. My honorable shout out goes to Serbia. I really liked the staging as well. That one, I need to see more of the camera work to get even more of an idea, but that would probably be my 4th place right now, but just only because it's a little bit more difficult to judge that one. But that is my first impression of these 10 songs, and how about you? Let me know below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.